Okay, so this is my short video on couchsurfing. So the first question, how did I find out about couchsurfing? Well, a good few years back, maybe 5 years now, 4 years. A friend of mine in college uh, from France called Perrine, she was a bit unusual, a bit eccentric. She came up with this crazy idea. I don't know, she called couchsurfing. So she introduced it to me, and I was skeptical at first. I thought it was a bit of a crazy idea, but the more I learnt about it, the more I was kind of intrigued by it, and yeah, that's what I heard about it. Anyway, why do you couchsurf? Well, when I first started, I couchsurfed probably mostly because it was quite a cheap way of traveling. I like traveling a lot, um, and if you couchsurf, you don't have to pay for accommodation anywhere. So this is probably when I was, a student, didn't have much income. Cheap way to travel. It was very appealing. But the more I got involved, the more I kind of appreciated getting to know different people, experiencing different cultures. So I after a while, I even stopped couch surfing with people and just would stay in a hotel. But I'd actually contact people around the area, couch surfers in the area, just to see if they wanted to meet up for a coffee or a drink, or maybe if they're interested in showing me around the town. So, and I find this the most rewarding part of couch surfing, just meeting different people, uh, kind of local people from different towns, and you can always learn things about the town from them. Do I consider couch surfing safe? Generally, I'd say yes, but you do have to be careful, of course, like anything. Um, on everyone's profile page, they have references from people who previously couch surfed with them, or who they have couch surfed with. So you do have some idea of the person before you couch surf with them, or before they stay with you. So and you just have to be careful. You have to look through all of them, make sure they don't have any poor reviews or references, and and this way you should be able to stay safe. Of course, it's never 100% guaranteed, but yeah, I would generally consider it a lot safer than it would suggest initially when you hear about it. I think the problem I had was unreliability. So you might, I've contacted a couch surfer, and last minute they backed out. So then we had to go through a lot of trouble of trying to get last minute accommodation somewhere else, or else someone has emailed me asking to stay on my couch, and I would say yes, and then they would get back to me. So I'd be waiting for them to contact me. So people just being unreliable is a far bigger problem than actually the safety issue. Well, my favorite experience on couchsurfing. Um, I'm gonna mention two experiences that are quite memorable. Uh, One was myself and two friends were staying in Wrocław in Poland, and we stayed with a girl there, but she could only host us for one night, whereas we were staying for two. So there was actually a couchsurfing party on in Wrocław that evening. So we went along, and some people offered to host us. So we were very happy with this. It was very last minute for them. We changed their plans, but so we stayed with them, and they actually didn't have much. They stayed in lived in quite a small apartment. It only had two rooms, but there was actually four people living there. Um, but they actually four of them slept in one room and gave us three the other room. So they didn't have much, but they gave as much as they could. So this is a really nice experience, and just really see people's generosity, which is one of the best things about couchsurfing. People give something for nothing in return. And the second experience is a little different. I stayed in Washington D.C. with a friend, and we stayed with quite a wealthy family actually. It was just a man and his wife, and they kind of treated us like their children, I think, in a way, which was very nice. And they took us out for dinner, and we spent a lot of time getting to know them. So that was just generally a nice experience because we got to know them probably better than many other couch surfers that I would have stayed with. Sometimes they're too busy or different things, but and finally, anything else I would like to add? I've gone on for over 5 minutes, so I think I'll leave it at that. I don't really have anything much to add. So, thanks for listening.